guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review. This review is for Baddies West, Season 3, Episode 11. So if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. So much went down in this episode, so let's just get right into this review. So Natalie and Chrisean ended up getting into it on the Baddies bus because Natalie and Chrisean were basically getting on each other's nerves the entire episode. Chrisean ended up putting her fingers in Natalie's mashed potatoes earlier in the episode. And then, Chrisean was trying to take a shot and she had a cup with her chaser in her hand and Natalie ended up taking it from her. And Chrisean took that as a form of disrespect. So the two of them started getting into it, and then Natalie starts getting pissed off and mad about the fact that Chrisean has been talking about her age a lot. And so they're arguing back and forth. At some point, Natalie gets on Instagram Live, and she's not paying attention to Chrisean, and Chrisean lets Natalie know that she's going to hit her. I don't understand why Natalie didn't take those threats seriously, but Chrisean did reach over and slap Natalie. She didn't slap her as hard as she could have, but she definitely slapped her. And now this little tap on the cheek enrages Natalie to the point where she starts yelling and screaming on the Baddies bus. And then she gets off the Baddies bus and she's yelling and screaming outside the bus for Chrisean to come outside. Now security would not let Chrisean come outside, but I don't really feel like Chrisean was taking Natalie seriously anyway because she didn't really think that Natalie wanted to fight her. And personally, I don't think that Natalie wanted to fight Chrisean either. I don't think that Natalie's afraid of Chrisean, but I don't think that she wanted to fight her. I think that Natalie just wanted to be dramatic because she knew that it was going to boost ratings for her show. It was going to make people want to tune into the next episode because you want to see if Chrisean is going to get off the bus and the two of them are going to fight. Now, security did not let Chrisean off the bus, but they definitely let Scotty off the bus so that she can go check on Natalie. Unfortunately for Scotty, it didn't work out the way she thought it was going to because Natalie attacked her. She ran up on her, yelling at Scotty, pointing in her face. She pushed her up against the Baddies bus. She was pulling her hair. She swung on her. It was a hot mess, and the entire time, Scotty did not fight back. All she was trying to do was calm Natalie down. Now, I really did feel bad for Scotty for a little bit because she was crying when she got back on the bus, and you can tell that Natalie definitely did hit her because her face was all red and she did have a couple of scratches on her face, and she was really upset, so I definitely did feel bad for her, but I more so feel bad for her for the fact that now she probably feels like she has to change who she is. And I don't feel like you should have to change who you are because of the way that other people are. But I feel like that's something that she's probably going to have to do, or she's going to feel like she has to do. Because this season, if anything, has taught her that that's what she has to do. Because at the end of the day, she doesn't seem like she's a fighter. She doesn't seem like she's somebody who's confrontational. She seems like somebody who just wants to have a good time with her girls and amp each other up and be that type of friend. And it seems like she can't really be that way because she's gotten into a few fights this season that has taught her opposite. She wasn't doing anything to Razor when Razor got drunk and came at her the wrong way, and she was confused and shocked by that. And now Natalie, who she thought was her friend, attacks her when she's drunk because of somebody else. And so now she probably feels like she can't be as friendly as she usually is, and she probably feels like she has to be more closed off than she usually is. Now, Rolly gets pissed off when she sees that Scotty is crying and her face is all red, and so she starts going off on Scotty about how Scotty should have defended herself against Natalie, whether she thought that Natalie was her friend or not. Once Natalie put her hands on her, all that should have been out the window and she should have fought back. And I agree with Rolly on that, and this is where I can't fully feel bad for Scotty because we all know who Natalie is. We have seen her for years on TV. She's been around for a very long time, and when she walked into that house on Bad Girls Club Season 4, she never changed after that. That person she came into that house as is the same person she left as. And then every other spin-off show we've seen her on since then, she has been the same exact person. If you can't give Natalie anything, give Natalie the credit of the fact that she's very consistent. She's very consistent. She's been the same person over the years that we all knew she was. And so for Scotty to be around and see Natalie befriend all these other girls and they all fall out and they all say the same thing about Natalie, why did Scotty think she was going to be any different? And now, despite all the drama that went on, the girls still had a hosting that they had to go to later that night. And so All the girls ended up getting ready and they got on the Baddies bus to head to the club, but Natalie and Stunner Girl ended up riding separately from everybody else, and Kat seemed to have an issue with this because she feels like they all need to ride together. And listen, I actually agree with Kat, but for different reasons. She wants them to all ride together because she wants them to all kumbaya and get along with each other, but I want them to ride together for entertainment purposes, because if they would have all got on the bus together, I think it would have been a really entertaining scene, and it would have made for a more entertaining episode. Now, when they all arrived at the club, Chrisean ended up performing first, and everybody seemed to have a little bit of an issue with that because they know that she's going to leave. Once she performs, she's going to leave, so you have to make her perform last. Otherwise, she won't be there and you won't hear from her for a few days. And so Chrisean was very serious this time about leaving. Now, she did say that she likes Natalie, but she feels like Natalie is fake. She said that she can still like her and still think that about her at the same time. I feel like she's trying to say that Natalie is somebody that's useful to have around. Natalie can be cool, and she can be somebody that you can go out and make money with, but as far as considering her a friend, I don't think anybody should do that. And so I agree with Chrisean on that. But Chrisean took it very seriously when Natalie was yelling and screaming about how she wanted her to leave and to get off the show and to get out of the house. And, you know, Natalie was running around yelling in her team's face. And so Chrisean actually really did quit the show. Like, the next day, she called DJ Sky and she told her she was completely done with the show. Now, DJ Sky ends up telling this information to Natalie, and Natalie acts like she doesn't care at all about Chrisean quitting the show. She said that she wanted her to leave because Chrisean thinks the show is all about her, and that is true. That's not really Natalie talking shit. That is true because Chrisean did say that in this episode. She said that she's the one who brings the crowd. When they go to the club for the hostings, everybody's there to see her, and I honestly agree with that. And I feel like a lot of people watch the show because they know Chrisean's going to be on it too, because she does have the bigger fan base out of everybody on the show. That's just how I feel. Everybody knows her song. She's the only person whose song they sing when they go to the clubs and perform. And a lot of people go crazy when Chrisean is there. They like her. And so I definitely agree with her on that. But I feel like, you know, Natalie probably was serious about wanting Chrisean gone. She probably doesn't want to deal with her shit anymore. Chrisean is somebody who seems like she's hard to deal with, but Natalie is very hard to deal with too. And I feel like that's probably the reason why Natalie and Chrisean bump heads. Now, it was kind of weird to me that Natalie didn't try to reach out to Scotty after she put her hands on her. Rolly had to tell her to contact Scotty so they could have a conversation in order for her to do it, which was weird because they're supposed to have a friendship outside of the show. And so why does Rolly have to tell you to contact Scotty for you guys to talk? And then on top of that, I do agree with Rolly when she told Natalie to stop thinking that these girls are her friends. Her and Scotty should have never tried to be friends. It should have just been a business thing. You're colleagues. That's it. Stop trying to be friends with each other. That's where they go wrong all the time because they don't just keep it at, oh, we work together and that's it. We're not friends. We can go do things, but we're not going to consider each other friends. Then you can't get hurt in that situation because Natalie seems to be hurting a lot of these girls. She always has. Did you not see on Bad Girls Club Season 4 after Natalie and Kendra got into it in Santa Barbara that Kendra was in the shower for like an hour sitting in there crying because of the whole situation? Like, Natalie really does be hurting these girls' feelings, and it's crazy to me. Now, honestly, in this episode, I thought that Lo and Stunner Girl was going to get into it because Stunner Girl was extremely pissed off at the fact that Lo and Kat came into her room and Lo was basically trying to check her about leaving the club early the previous night. And, you know, Stunner Girl shouldn't have left the club early, but once she told why she left early, I think it was a good idea. She said that she noticed some, you know, weird shit going on, and so she decided to leave because she didn't want to pop off at the club. And I feel like once she said that that's the reason why she left, everybody should have been cool with it, because then they would have been talking about her if she would have started fighting at the club that they were getting paid to be at. So I think she made the right choice by walking away and leaving the club early. But in her interview, Stunner Girl said that apparently Lo didn't learn her lesson from trying to check people after Chrisean put 3 knots on her head. Now, I think that it's good that Stunner Girl kept her cool this time and she didn't swing on anybody, but I definitely thought that it was going to be a fight between her and Lo. Now, there was a bit of an argument between Sky and Lo in this scene, though, because Lo was having a conversation with Stunner Girl and Kat about the fight that she had with Chrisean and how she thought that, you know, it was weird that Sky didn't jump in the fight to defend Chrisean because that's supposed to be her friend. Now, when Sky overheard this, she ended up confronting Lo about it, and she told Lo that the reason why she didn't jump in the fight was because Chrisean was handling her herself, and she didn't want to jump Lo. And Lo was like arguing with Sky about this, like, oh, if it was my friend, I would have jumped in it. I don't care if it was one-on-one. If somebody hits my friend, I'm jumping in. I'm like, Lo, are you advocating for getting jumped? Like, you really wanted Chrisean and Sky to jump you? Like, it made no sense to me. Like, of course, if I'm out with my friend and somebody swings on her, I will break up the fight if it's one-on-one. I will break it up, but I'm not jumping in because I'm not jumping anybody. Like, if somebody else jumps in, then I'll jump in, but I'm not jumping no one, but I will break up the fight. I don't understand where Lo was coming from with that, though. So at the very end of this episode, Natalie and Scotty finally have a one-on-one conversation, and Scotty was on the verge of tears the entire conversation. She just would not stop crying, and Natalie showed no emotion at all. The only emotion she showed was anger at Scotty. She felt like Scotty brought it on herself as to why she hit her, because she said that she saw a clip that was going around of Scotty laughing during the, encounter between Chrisean and Natalie. And I didn't see Scotty laughing in that situation, and I just don't understand where Natalie was coming from in the conversation, because it's like, girl, just take accountability for the fact that you hit your friend. Apologize. Like, just take accountability. But she was just trying to throw it all on Scotty, and that was just crazy for me to watch. Like, girl, how could you see your friend or your supposed friend breaking down in front of you, crying in tears, saying that you're her friend and that she loves you and that she didn't want to hit you back because she believes you're her friend, and you just sit there and you show no emotion, no sympathy, nothing at all? Like, Natalie needs to be in therapy for that, because that's crazy to me that she can be that way. But at the end of the day, now that Scotty sees exactly how Natalie is, she needs to move accordingly. So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Baddies West. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.